Sorry about that, guys. But I am back with another episode of Island of Happiness. Alright. It's been like a couple of months now, I believe, since I've done the last episode. But there's some stuff I have to talk about, so and Ethan, you told me that tonight's premiere won't it won't be as long, so I figured, today would be a good opportunity to get an episode out. Because, that's the thing. A lot of the times I just don't really have much to talk about, so it kind of just makes me feel, I don't know, unmotivated, uninspired to do a recording, but today I'm kind of in the mood, and like I said, I do have stuff to talk about, so yeah. So yeah, I don't really know what to start with. Sorry, I'm trying to find how do I get back to this area? This is weird. Okay, here we go. Huh. All right. Yeah, I think a good place to start is my current plans with my Let's Plays and my writing projects. So yeah, I stated in my last recording that I want to get an episode out, or an episode or two out of Harvest Moon: A New Beginning, because I want to get a story started with the characters. Now, unlike what I did or what I was doing for, my animal parade and my Island of Happiness Wattpad project, it's gonna be a bit different. It's not gonna be, my self-insert being a farmer. You know, like I mentioned, I kind of want to keep it more like what, you know, you know, me in real life. You know what I mean? Because it's, even though I love playing these games, and I couldn't do it in this game, but in like newer games, you can actually customize your avatar to look like you. So even though I like to, self-insert into the games and stuff, being a farmer is not something I would want to do like in real life, so it won't be, based on like the objective of the game, which I will talk about once I get some episodes released. Oh, so we do have a festival today. Huh. I thought it was too late, so I just sold my turnip because, Felicia should have notified me. Yeah, I think that's her name, Felicia. She was supposed to notify me today that there was a festival, but I thought I built the bridge to that area too late, so I didn't really think this time. But when in the summer, I'll get a crop prepared for the summer festival. All right. We still have a couple of seaweeds we can collect. So, yeah. Oh well. I'm just gonna fish then. Can I please? Thank you. I could save them, but I don't really feel like it. I don't even know if do I even have like storage, like a toolbox or like a storage source in my home? I don't know. But yeah. I won't, I won't get into it in this because I'll wait until I release my first Harvest Moon: A New Beginning episode soon, but there's a certain objective to the game. I'm not gonna really incorporate it into the story, but I mean, I'll kind of do something that's kind of connected to it. It's hard to explain, really, but yeah, I'm not gonna have my self-insert be a farmer this time. I'm just gonna... But I will have all the characters. Ooh, nice. That's a large-ass fish. Oh well. That kind of sucks, though. I thought I thought we weren't gonna get the festival. Why didn't... I assumed because Felicia never... Because she usually warns you, like, the day before that there's gonna be a festival, but she never did, so I thought I thought I build the bridge too late. And I was going to have to wait until summer. Damn it, I really needed some Wonderfuls. Because especially with tending to crops. It makes tending to crops a lot more easier because there's a Wonderful that can increase water capacity. There's a Wonderful that can let you water more crops at a time. There's a Wonderful that lets you equip additional Wonderfuls. You know, this game in Sunshine Islands, you know, it's very unique to what they did with the toll upgrades. Like here, like I'll show you an example. Alright, right here, my watering can. You see how it says used to water, has enough water for 37 squares. And I think the maximum capacity is 50 squares. But I can equip a certain color Wonderful to the watering can to increase the capacity. That way I don't have to fill up my watering can as often. But yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna... I might actually do it in the next couple of days. But I'll probably release a couple of episodes of Harvest Moon: A New Beginning. I don't know if it'll be my priority. Because, you know, I've already started this game. I might want to focus on this game for for a while still, but I want to at least release, like, you know, an episode or two so you can get a good feel of the game before I release my Wattpad project based on it. There's a character that I'm really fixated on, and that's in Harvest Moon: A New Beginning. I said, like, I think in the beginning of, you know, in the first episode of this, it was the first or second episode of this Let's Play, I said Vaughn was my favorite bachelor in general. Well, now I think I've changed my mind. He's still my favorite bachelor, and Vaughn is still my favorite bachelor in, you know, this game and in Sunshine Islands. But in general, I think I changed my mind. I think it's... I'll reveal his name when we meet him in the Harvest Moon and A New Beginning Let's Play. Alright, I don't have my money because shipping is weird in this game. Instead of just getting your money the next day, you get it at 5 p.m. And I didn't ship my stuff until after 5 p.m. yesterday. So, yeah. We do unlock people from fishing, so. And plus it can be a decent moneymaker, so that's why I've been doing a lot of fishing. Sea bream, nice. Fish! Catch the fish, damn it. There. Thank you. Now, there is something I'd like to get off my chest. Hold on. It's not a good idea to really talk about it when fishing, because the fishing in this game is very finicky. Sorry. We'll fish for a little longer. Sorry I'm not really talking right now. It's just... Like I said, fishing in this game is weird. You have to, like, time it just right. And, you know, it's harder to concentrate when I'm, you know, talking, so... But I'll talk more after. I'll fish for a little bit longer. I want to get, you know, my money, you know, I'll stop before 5 p.m. so I can get my money today from this batch. You see, sometimes I don't know, it doesn't even, like, tell you that it got away or that you caught a fish. I don't understand. It's weird. Ooh, a mahi-mahi. Nice. I think that's one of the large fish. Alright. It's 3 p.m. I want to get this shipped off. Oh, hold on. Did I collect the seaweed for today? No, I did not. Alright. Alright, now what I was gonna say. Alright. Hold on. Ah! Oh my god. I don't even know if I'm gonna get... I don't know if I'm gonna get there before 5 p.m. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get some stuff shipped off at least. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've been kind of drifting away from the Criminal Case games. Don't get me wrong, they can be really fun to play, you know, it has really good stories, you know, really good characters. But, you know, they can get pretty tedious at times. Plus, it relies a lot on what the... Stacking in this game is so weird. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's a... Yeah, it has really, you know, the Criminal Case games have really intriguing characters and stuff. But, you know, the gameplay itself can get tedious. Plus, it relies a lot on... you know, having, you know, Facebook friends. And I don't mind sending requests to people. I mean, even if I don't really know them, you know, I'm not really interacting with them. I'm only adding them for... Ooh, finally! Vinny's here. We have finally got Vinny. Alright. Sounds good, Vinny. I wasn't sure if I got him yet. It's been a month or two, so I didn't remember. Oh, and it's summer now. Alright. Oh my god. What am I gonna do? Sorry. I'm just thinking of silly stuff, but yeah. I'll talk about that later. But, yeah, like I said, Criminal Case relies a lot on, like, you know, having friends on Facebook. Like I said, you know, I don't really have a problem with that, as long as, you know, they don't try to mess with me. We're just sending each other energy. But a lot of the times, you know, the game does not allow you to, like, send energy or receive energy from friends. Like, it's been an on and off issue for, I believe, years now. plus you have to wait around a lot, you know, to progress. So yeah, I've been kind of drifting away from the criminal case games. I feel like my main video game hyperfixation is, you know, these Harvest Moon / Story of Season games. Can we until, please? Thank you. But yeah, I thought I'd let you know. Hold on. I need to get a good farming arrangement situated. Oh yeah, we have new color grass now. You know, oh, that was an accident. I also wanted to show off Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town, because the Bachelor I'm referring to is also in that game as DLC. But, you know, but for some reason it's not letting me download any more games for Ryuji's. Now, I can still play Miitopia, I just can't, you know... I just don't have, like, any more games I can play for, you know, Switch as a Let's Play. How much money do I have? Oh, not bad. But yeah, I tried to, you know, get that game emulated and the DLC for it, because, you know, he's a part of the DLC. Now, the good news is, I dug up some old gift cards, and I was able to get it on my actual Switch. I mean, I could do a I could still do a Let's Play if I really wanted to. It's just a pain to, you know, do Let's Plays on my TV. That's why I stopped doing it, because it's just so much easier to do it from... to, you know, to just simply screen record them onto my computer like this. Yeah, Denny is an early bird. But yeah, I can at least, you know, show off a new beginning. In fact, that's probably what my next recording will be. I don't know if I'll do it like, you know, tomorrow and record it or premiere it tomorrow night, but I do want to get it out here pretty soon. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a bit of a predicament here. But yeah, okay, so what I was laughing at earlier. Oh my god. Purple Ethan is absolutely insane. I remember something he did. I think it was like, you know, either last year or... Oh, already come the frick on. But... Yeah. I don't remember if it was last year or earlier this year, but... Oh god, it feels like I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But he went on a trip with his mom to see the Blue Angels. But because of inclement weather, you know, the show was canceled. Then he comes online and he rages about it, which, fair enough, you know, frustration about, you know, something you were looking forward to getting canceled. Hold on. You know? But he loses his shit and he genuinely blames it on one of Ashton's OCs, you know, one of his characters. He was like, screw, like, he was like getting really mad, and then he was like, screw you, Luca. Because that's the name of one of Ashton's OCs. Luca is known to, like, control, like, the weather and stuff, like, you know, from what I understand. Like, he can make it rain, he can make it cloudy, he can make it snow, he can make it storm. And I heard it was, like, dependent on his mood. Like, you know, rain meant he was, like, sad or something, or he was, like, crying, and then, like, a thunderstorm meant, like, I don't know, like, angry crying. You know, it was, like, something like that. I think, you know, something about the weather and his area being linked to, like, whatever mood he's feeling. And, you know, Ethan is aware of this, so he comes onto Discord and he blames it on Luca, like I said. He was like, screw you, Luca. I don't know. It's just funny. I don't know. I get it if it was like, if it was a joke, you know. A joke's a joke, but like he was genuinely pissed and, you know, about not being able to see the Blue Angels. It's not like he was like, you know, trying to be lighthearted. Like he seemed genuinely angry over a freaking fictional OC due to not being able to see the Blue Angels. Oh my god. And then my freaking grandparents saw them last year, and we all know what that means. My grandparents are addicted to taking vacations. Oh wow. What? We don't have any onions? Really? Oh my god. Seriously? Fine. I'll just take some tomatoes. I could have sworn we had onions. I thought that was like the most simple summer crop. But yeah, I don't really have the motivation right now to continue my ongoing stories, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna start that a new beginning based one after I release an episode or two. And then the other day, oh my god. Me, Ashton, and Purple Ethan were looking through old ass text messages from, I believe like it was from like late 2019 or early 2020. And we were just laughing and cringing so much. Ashton pulled up a message where Purple Ethan was announcing that he was drinking. Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally overbought the tomato seeds. I bought 18 thinking it would like cover, one seed would cover up like, or one bag would only cover up one square, but one bag actually covers up a maximum of like 9, but you know, I think I explained this already, but just in case I haven't, the reason I only do 8 squares instead is so once your crops get to a certain growth point, unfortunately, you can no longer walk through them. And then, like, if I were to do 9, then I wouldn't be able to water, you know, the one right in the center of the 3x3 squares. So that's why I only do 8, so I can get to all of them. But yeah, Purple Ethan made an announcement post that he was drinking Pepsi, and for some reason my replies sounded so depressed, and even Ashton was wondering about this. Like, my replies, like, at first he was just like, I'm drinking Pepsi, then I was like, okay. Then he was like, it's your favorite drink, and I was like, yeah. I don't even remember myself why I was, oh crap, I'm almost out of stamina. Why I sounded so dry in those replies. I guess it was just because, I don't know, maybe an incident happened right before that, or oh no, why? I wanted to talk to Vaughn. Oh well, we can't do anything. Back to bed. Aww, that sucks. There, now that's what I need. I just want regular rain so I don't have to water my crops. I don't need a fucking typhoon. Oh my goodness! My crops are fine. I got lucky. Maybe with they're just seeds, they don't get ruined in the typhoon. But oh my god, I overbought my tomato seeds. I don't want to waste money, but alright, we'll keep a few. I wish I had a storage space in my home. It sucks. It had to be on a Thursday. Now I couldn't, you know, talk to Vaughn, because, you know, he's only on the island 2 days a week, so, you know, it's gonna be a lot slower to progress my friendship level with him. And then, Green Ethan, but Purple Ethan, he made a post back in, like I said, back in, 2019, 2020. Wait, why? Hold on. How do I? Huh. Stacking in this game is a pain. I was trying to get the pet food to merge together so it would only take up one slot, but it does not want to cooperate. Alright, we'll just do some more fishing since it's pretty lucrative and, you know, I don't have to water my crops today thanks to the rain. Damn it! But yeah, another thing I want to talk about. Just some pretty, or well, I'll say possible good news. But you know how I finally got my ID back in July? Well, I don't know what took my dad and I this long to realize this, but you know, he told me yesterday that for Christmas and my birthday, he doesn't just have to give me those gift cards anymore. He can get me an actual debit card. Yeah, because, you know, I didn't think about it because I just thought that I needed an actual bank account. To get like a card, an actual money card, but it turns out I can still have a debit card, even though I don't have a bank account, but I do have an ID now. So hopefully it'll work out. Because I got a $400 gift card for my birthday. But for some reason, I tried to activate it, and it gave me an error. You know, then I went and talked to my dad about it, and he called the number on the card, not the card number, you know, the phone number. And we found out that somebody figured out the number on the card. And the thing is, you know, I hardly like do any videos where I like actually record myself or record what's going on in my room. In fact, did I even do a video like that, like, you know, between my birthday and, you know, now? I don't recall I have. I think the last time I did like an IRL video was I believe it was way back on New Year's Day, and you know, that was like a birthday card for, you know, that was for my birthday, not for like Christmas. So I don't even think because my dad thinks that someone who viewed one of my YouTube videos might have figured out the number on the card, but I don't know, because like I said, I haven't been doing, you know, I don't really do, you know, in real life videos and live streams very often anymore. My dad and my brother think I do, because, you know, they hear me talking to you guys on camera, but I'm not actually, you know, doing and a recording like of myself or in my room, I've mostly just been doing, screen recordings. So I think what happened was I think the card information somehow got leaked on the web. I don't know, like I literally don't know what happened, but how someone could have figured the information, but do girls like type what? Oh yeah, I wanted to show something off. You see how we can no longer collect seaweed from the boulder. Yeah, unfortunately, that's only a spring thing. But yeah, I have no idea what happened, but like I said, I think the card information just somehow got leaked because, I haven't been. I haven't done any actual videos of myself or my room, but between then and now, so yeah, I think it would. I guess it was like a faulty technical issue on the website. I don't know, but that's why he said that. That's when we realized that he was able to give me a debit card now. Because another issue that I've been having with those gift cards is, they get declined on a lot of websites. It seems like, and even from websites I was able to use before, I would Christmas or my birthday would come back around and I wouldn't be able to use the website anymore. For example, I used to be able to order from Bath and Body Works, but for some reason once I got another card, it wouldn't let me anymore. They keep getting declined on more and more websites. I'm lucky, at this point, I'm lucky that I can still use them on Steam, Nintendo, and Amazon. Those are probably the main 3 online services I use, or just digital services I use. Digital online, because I can barely use anything else. Like I said, I tried to, because, I discovered yesterday that I still had some money from previous gift cards. So I was able to buy the DLC for Pioneers of Olive Town with my favorite bachelor from the franchise. But I also tried to buy some points on DeviantArt. And it wouldn't let me for some reason. If you don't know what points are, they're just a currency. You can use them to get a core membership, and some people, including Ashton, he has point commissions opened. So instead of real life money, you can just give them points. So I tried to buy some of those because you can buy them with real life money. Because that's another that's another thing I can't do with those gift cards. It doesn't let me link them to a PayPal account or buy, real life commissions. So if you're thinking, well, why don't you just buy commissions with real life money? Well, that's why is because a lot of people they use PayPal or Cash App to accept payments, but I've tried linking my gift cards to them, but I keep getting declination errors. Plus, some people don't even have real life commissions or real life cash commissions, The majority of artists, prefer, to accept, actual money as payment. And the majority of artists only accept, money as payment. But, there's actually a few artists who only accept points, and there's a small percentage that, accept both, but, there are a few who can only do point commissions at the moment, so yeah. That's what points are. They're basically a currency that you can use. You can buy them with money, or you can, offer commissions to get points. And yeah. But I'm hoping that now that I can possibly have a debit card, I won't have to deal with the decline issues as much. Ashton told me that it can still happen. He dealt with it, but, it doesn't happen as often, and he said that there should be a fix to it, so yeah, I'm definitely going to test that out around Christmas time when I do get my Christmas money. And my dad even looked into the whole case with my birthday debit card a couple of weeks ago. They sent and they left the hacker or whatever left only $5 on it, but they sent us a replacement card yesterday. But the bad news is it wasn't fully refunded. It was only the $5 that they left on the old one, the one I got for my sorry, the one I got for my birthday. But the good news is, like I said, I did dig up some old cards, and I actually found plenty of money in total, so I was able to get the DLC I wanted for Pioneers of Olive Town. I've been wanting it for years, but I just never really understood how to get it. At first, I thought you needed like, you know, to you could not buy it separately, but luckily I recently realized that I was able to. Thank goodness, because otherwise I'd probably have to buy like the game again just with the DLC this time, but I'm glad I'm glad I didn't have to do that. Now, you know, there isn't really much to the DLC. It just unlocks, you know, some other areas and, you know, some bachelors and bachelorettes and just, you know, characters from, you know, games that came before. Pioneers of Olive Town, but, you know, if there's like a bachelor you really like, then, or a bachelorette in, you know, some cases, some people's cases, then yeah, I highly recommend getting it. If you don't really care about, you know, marrying any of, you know, the DLC, you know, characters, or, you know, or just getting characters in general, then yeah, it might not be for those people, but if you're like me, then yeah, I think the DLC is worth it. So yeah, I was happy that I was able to get I was able to finally download that, and I still have plenty of money, but like I said, I did try to buy some points for DeviantArt, but it got declined, like I said. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas. Now that I have an ID, I can, because, you know, from what my dad told me, like, you know, I don't have a, like I said, I don't have a bank account, but, you know, I do have my ID, so he can just, like, you know, load money on there, like, you know, periodically, like, you know, like every birthday and every Christmas, he can just load money on there. And I'm hoping that I won't have to deal with, like, declining issues as much. And, like what Ashton told me, you know, if I do get declined, you know, I can fix it easily. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end off the episode right here, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Hold on, let me save. Alright. Bye, guys.